What's up, NASCAR 15 fans, and didn't we just do this? It feels like just yesterday I was running the first race at Pocono, and now we are running the second. So, a couple things to talk about after our victory at the Brickyard 400. We picked up some new sponsorship, you may have already seen it on the car, from Aaron's. 8 races, $33,500. Our sponsorship relations are okay at the moment, despite the fact that we won one of the crown jewels in the sport. Interesting how that works out. But anyway, we also did some research and development. We actually did this before Indianapolis, but we weren't able to use it until this race, which is a body shop upgrade. Not too much to go over there. Also, the driver's standings. We have moved up to 23rd in the points, just 1 point behind Justin Allgaier. And the points are pretty close all the way up into the chase transfer spots, but with 2 wins, we're pretty good, even though there are still a lot of people with 2 wins. Brad Keselowski still leading the points, if that matters to anybody. So let's head over to Pocono Speedway, take a look at the starting grid, and get this thing underway. So Martin Truex will be on the pole, Casey Kane alongside him, Quentin Boyer and Carl Edwards in the second row. Where are we, do you think? Where do you think we qualified at Pocono? We're not here, we're not on this page either. Oh, we're last. Yeah, I could have qualified higher. I did a best lap of a 49.7, which would have put us 41st. But, yeah, 2 positions isn't really a lot of a difference. So, let's head to Daryl and Mike and get us started from the NBC Sports booth. I know that triggers some people.
Hi, everyone. Mike Joy and Daryl Waltrip welcoming you to today's coverage of the Pennsylvania 400. 3 different length straightaways, 3 different radius turns. Which one do you set up for, Daryl?
Mike, most of the guys like to set up for turn 3. If you can get off of turn 3, where does that lead you to? It leads you to the start-finish line, and you want to get there first. Turn 3, that's the critical spot.
The 3 unique turns were patterned after popular IndyCar tracks when Pocono was built. Turn 1, Indianapolis. Turn 2, Trenton. And Turn 3, the Milwaukee Mine. They're all different. They're all unique. It's Pocono.
Okay, Mike Joy completely screwed the pooch on that intro. Turn 1 is Trenton, Turn 2 is Indianapolis, and Turn 3 is Milwaukee. Don't know where he got his information, but it's wrong. Also, I find it funny that in 2012, when they recorded that audio,
on the tricky triangle, boys and girls.
Daryl trolled me. I thought he wasn't going to say it, and I was going to say my quip, and then he said it anyway. But I find it funny that even in 2012, when they recorded this audio, this race still didn't have a sponsor. Alright, so let's go. Let's get racing here as we slide the car just a little bit through 1 and 2. Or 1 and 2, just turn 1. Trenton should say I'm not too worried about losing the pack at the beginning of this race because generally speaking, the AI like to crash on this track and they get all packed up. But we are not going to try to do any fuel saving. As you see, I completely wiped out the side of my new Aaron's Dream machine until we really lose the pack, because I want to see if I can, well, I guess I'm not really going to be able to catch the pack, am I? I mean, this track is pretty much impossible from what I've been told in the comments. I do run on the 100% AI difficulty and no assists or anything, so what you see is what you get as we get a car in the wall there. But unless he comes back into traffic in the wrong place, it looks like we're going to stay green. Looks like I am catching the back of the field just a little bit. If I can get through turn 2 just a little bit better, I think we may be able to catch some of these guys here. Well, I got on the throttle too early there. I had a good run, but it didn't work out. So now we get into turn 3 here. Once again, I'm just getting on the throttle too early. I really trimmed the car out on the setup. I used the Indianapolis setup, but I completely got rid of the entirety of the front splitter just to be able to do this on the straightaways, 206 miles per hour. I find I can, whoops, that's, well, I was going to say, I can kind of, I should have itchy armed there, but I didn't. I was going to say, I tend to find that I can coasted all the way through turn 1. I'm going to have to start doing that now because, of course, we're all the way in the back. But I was able to get through turn 1 decently in practice, and now suddenly I can't do it in the race. What a shocker. So as we begin to make up spots because of cars on pit lane, I'd like to show off a little trick I just discovered. If you kick in the clutch and let it go below 2,000 RPM, then it will stay engaged until you hit the throttle again, which I kind of find interesting. But if you don't do it properly, you're going to goose it in the middle of the corner, and suddenly you're going to get all of the power back, and then it'll try to spin the car out. Interesting thing I figured out here, as the majority of the field comes into the pits. We're still in the orange on fuel, and we still haven't gotten everybody down pit lane yet. As you can see, I just kicked the clutch out at the wrong time, and the car almost spun out. And it doesn't look like we're going to make up any, or be able to lap anybody, which is kind of unfortunate.
We got this, buddy.
But we've gone up to 13th position, which isn't too bad, all things considered, even though that is a fairly unlucky number. You just hear the car not even engaged, the engine not even on at that point. I guess it's kind of like the kill switch. You just hit the kill switch in the middle of the turn, and
your fuel. You're running a little low.
we can still make another lap there, Spotter. We're good. As we get down all the way to 2,000 RPMs, kick the clutch back out. So we should be able to take the lead. No, Allgaier's staying out. Why is Allgaier staying out? Just to spite me the points, right? In fact, we're chasing him in the points, ironically enough. So of course he would stay out. But Allgaier's staying out, so is Clint Boyer. So we're not actually getting better fuel mileage than everybody
Keep
else.
pushing.
It's kind of
We know we got a fast car. Every point
bit
counts.
concerning.
Keep the momentum.
We're gonna have to see
Going
how
in
this
time.
shakes out at the end, though, especially because the next fuel run I'm just completely gonna go fuel save because I'm expecting we're gonna be at the back most of the time. Well, let's see. Can we make it another lap, you think? Yeah, we'll see what it's like in turn 3. I'm almost willing to risk it just to... Oops. That's not what I wanted to do. I'm almost willing to risk it just to get the 5 bonus points. In fact, you know what? That is what I'm going to do. So we're going to run full throttle through turn 3. And that's pretty much going to be an entire coasting lap here. But I want to... Well, I've already committed. I guess we'll lead the next lap, really.
Okay, pit this time. Pit this time.
Okay, so... Yeah, we're going to be on the clutch a while. As you can see, the fuel gauge,
Crew
not
chief's
too
really
good.
concerned about your fuel.
And we're just going to roll around all the way. This is pretty much like the end of a qualifying lap. And on the throttle. Oh boy, we're probably going to run out of fuel. I got to really coast around this lap. And I'm going to make you guys suffer through it. As we go all the way through turn 2, completely on the clutch.
We can do this all day.
Yeah, we sure can. Boy, I'd love a yellow right now. Alright, so we're going to go down a couple gears here. Well, maybe just a third. We're going to use the access road because that's a rule that's actually in NASCAR. If you've got a major trouble, which we do at the moment, you can use it.
You ready, buddy? We're low on fuel.
Yes, I'm very much aware of that. Alright, now we can go. And then immediately slow down, because we don't want to get a speeding penalty in addition to this slow lap. In fact, I'm not even sure we led that lap because we got passed by the pack so quickly. Oh well, we're going to do a 4-tire stop on this one so that we can kind of save a 2-tire stop for the end of the race if we want to make a strategy call. Let's see how long it's going to take the pit crew to get done here. Alright, doesn't look like we're going to lose a lap, so that's good.
Let's go to work now, buddy. Come on.
Yeah, we're not going to lose a lap. So that saved us a little bit. And now it's time to start saving fuel once again, as we are on lap 12 of 32, about a third of the way through the race. So you'd assume everybody needs to make 2 more pit stops to make it, though we can probably make our last pit stop shorter than the competition. So hopefully we can pull that off. Well, if you can't beat him, outsmart him. So we're coming around here, turn 3. I just did 1 and 2 flat out because I really wanted to beat these cars out of the pits, which I was able to do. So we're up to 39th here. And now we're going to start fuel saving just a little bit more. Well, maybe we're going to try to spin the car out. But I'm not going to be quite as aggressive on this next couple of laps here, because I do want to stay ahead of the pack as best I can. Because that's going to be my best shot, is being able to fight with the guys here at the end of the race. At least strategize, out-strategize them, I should say. Because that's going to be pretty much my only chance of victory in this one, is just using better strategy than everybody else does. So right now, see, I didn't even save fuel through 3 that time. As we go around a few more cars,
Really good. Come
go
on,
up
man.
to 34th, and then clutch in all the way into turn 1. On the brakes just a little bit, roll out of the throttle, roll back into the throttle. And as you can see, a lot of cars coming off into the pits this time around. Kurt Busch is coming up behind us, but he's still about half a straightaway behind here on the long pond, so not worried about Mr. Kurt yet, though I'm sure he'll be in the pits relatively shortly. And then we'll be pretty much legitimately in the lead,
Nobody's going to make it easy for us today, buddy.
which is pretty much legitimately in the lead for me at Pocono in NASCAR 15. Is better than I generally expect. So we're going to pick up a lot of positions here as we come by the cars stuck in the pit lane.
They're waving halfway. Come on, let's do this.
And there you go, halfway
Looking
mark
really
of the
good, buddy.
race. Everybody's coming into the pits. We just got out ahead of Brian Vickers.
Put it
So
on
it's
the
going to
left.
be a bit of a battle there as we start to use a little bit more of the racetrack and a little bit more of our fuel here. But that's a good thing, because of the fact that we're doing what we need to do right now. Stretching the fuel the way I did at the end of the last stint was actually may have been a really smart decision, and I'm going to do that again, I think, on this one. Even though I felt like I lost a lot of time, at the same time, and I said time a lot, didn't I? Feels like we're going to be in good shape here coming around. There are cars coming out of the pits. Going to see if we're going to be able to
Nice
pass
pass,
them
man.
coming
Keep
down
working.
into turn 1.
Top 5.
Looks like we
You
should
can
be
do
able
it.
to.
There you
That's
go.
Kurt right there. So around Kurt we go.
Clear left.
And he's still down there on the warm-up lane, so don't have to worry about Kurt for a little bit longer, though he will probably come up behind towards the end of my fuel run here, as we've got 3 cars ahead of us, and they're all in the pits: Boyer, Allmendinger, and Allgaier. So pretty much the guys who get to the lunch line first, because alphabetical order. That was, why did that come up in my brain? But for whatever reason, I just remembered like how bad I felt for the kids who had Z names in elementary school, because they never got to eat first, and they always got screwed out of all the good food because it was all gone by the time they got to their
Looks
names.
really good right here.
That's just something I always found funny. Or not funny, but sad. It's funny in retrospect. But glad I had an L name. I was usually mid-pack, so I was the last kid to get all the good food. So it looks like we'll be able to run this last stint flat out, judging by fuel consumption and how much time we've got left in the race. Assuming I don't crash, which I almost did there. Should be able to do 2 tires and a full load of fuel. And I think, you know, we can run flat out to the end of the race, as we've got Kurt Busch coming up behind us. But again, all we need to do is keep him behind and cut off a bit of a pit stop here. Don't need to save fuel. I'm not pitting this lap either.
Right now.
We're coming in the next time around. So 2 more
On the
laps
bottom, 3 back.
on this fuel
Looking low.
as we lose the position
Okay,
of
hunt
Kurt
him down.
Busch. Not a lot I could do about that
Clear
one.
low.
But hopefully we start seeing guys coming in already from the back of the pack. If that happens, we know we're in good shape, because it may mean that everybody else is going to have to stop twice more and not just once more, because I know I should be able to make it once more relatively
Closing on the
easily.
bottom.
But again, we'll have to wait and see. Car is handling pretty
What's your
good.
fuel? You ready to dive in here, buddy?
We're able to stay up with these guys relatively
We want to
decently.
fit this lap. We need our car
if
to be
that
right.
makes sense.
10-4. The leader's second ahead.
and we'll be able to come in this time by. Should be good on fuel.
On the bottom, one
If
back.
there's a worry about it, you know, we can clutch
Watch your rear.
the last little bit of space as we almost get run over by the
Right's all clear, bud.
other Aaron's dream machine out on the track. But we managed to keep them behind me at the moment.
Got a
On
car
the
behind.
brakes there, we're good.
Stay low.
Still good on fuel.
Watch your mirror. He's coming up fast.
And the blocking that I'm able to do is probably going to help me in the long run, as we're going to let the old dream
Take a
machine
good look at that fuel gauge,
through.
buddy. That'll tell you how many laps we've got.
and we'll go all the way down, get on the brakes,
Looking high.
get the car in the pits, and go to work on it.
Watch
for
your
the-
speed.
hopefully
No
the last
penalties,
time.
buddy. Go.
All right, 2 tires, no adjustments, full load of fuel. We've actually got more cars already coming into the pits, so the strategy is working out exactly the way we need it to. Waiting on the fuel now. Waiting, waiting, waiting. This should be an 8-second stop. Seems like an eternity. Here we go. Back out into the fray.
Nice pit stop right there, just like we practiced.
And
Like
we
I
are
said, we got a
out
real
ahead
good
of
car
those
here.
cars
Just take care of it, buddy.
behind us.
We can do this. Just gotta
That's
keep
what we
focused.
needed to do. We accomplished that goal. Now the next goal is not to fall a lap down, because Kurt Busch is behind us. And, yeah, just maintain pace now. We've got 10 laps to go coming up to it. We should be good on the fuel. And we'll see where we shake out. We're already 39th. We've got a couple more cars in the pits at this point. We've already cut a stop off. So that's already a positive sign for sure. As we come around to pass a couple more cars here. Gilliland at least
Time
is
to
one
go.
of them.
Okay, Dan. Nice and smooth.
And
Nice
Mears is
smooth.
the other. And now a lot more cars coming off into the pits. We get down next to the yellow line. And off of the corner. Pretty nicely there. Kurt Busch still lurking back there, but again, he's going to have to stop pretty soon, I would imagine. And we won't. So that's going to work out pretty well. I don't know if he's got a big enough delta or a gap, if you will. I'm using the F1 terminology. To not lose the lead to me, but we'll have to wait and see. We're coming around here. Definitely some cars near
Time
the
to
exit
go.
of pit road. But again, they use the full warm-up lane down the inside, so should be able to
Stay
pass
on top,
them
you're good right
relatively
there.
easily and get
Put it on
some
the low side.
good distance as we work through turn 1. A little bit squirrely down through there, but not too bad. Busch is closing in, and he didn't get held up by the lap cars coming out of the pit, so that's a bit distressing.
We gotta go to work now. We gotta go to work.
So we get down next to the, or into the groove somewhere, not really the greatest line through turn 2 at Pocono. And now we've got a lot of cars in the pits, and we're going to have to see if we can work our way around them as well. I'm a little bit worried about the cars exiting the pits, holding me up just a little bit, but let's
8 to
see.
go. Doing an awesome job
Making a
today,
big
buddy.
run here, and there's a couple cars that have pretty handily beaten me out of the
Put it on the
pits.
left.
But that is Larson and Vickers. So those are the guys who were second and third on track. And now we're coming up behind Vickers. I think we'll be able to pass him here down the tunnel turn. But holding him off is
Clear
going to be
up
very
top.
difficult unless they have
One
to come
back,
back into the
coming low.
pits. So we're going to try to keep Vickers behind us as long as we can, because this is essentially the battle for the lead right now. Though I am a bit worried that Kurt Busch, because he was so much farther ahead of
Car
Brian
inside, just
Vickers,
looking.
that's going to create some troubles for us to be able to beat Kurt out of the pits. And here comes some cars out of the pits, and I would imagine Kurt is
7 to
one of
go.
them. And there's already a car in turn 1, so that's probably Kurt.
That's it, dude. Every position is
So we're
more
going to need
points.
that extra pit stop to happen for these AI cars. And oh
Clear
boy,
left
that's an
side.
Aaron's nightmare
Car
right
approaching
there.
low.
And it's
Yellow
brought out the
flag,
yellow. Yeah, he just dove bombed me into turn 1. I turned down into him, not expecting him there, and then the crash happened. Well, we're not going to be able to... We should be able to make it to the end. But I don't know if we're going to be able to hold the lead. It's a battle between myself and Kurt Busch. We're going to have to see what kind of a restart we get, and if we get completely eaten up here on this restart.
Looking really good, buddy.
And there was a bit of wheel spin there.
Okay, behind you.
Not too bad. Battle with Kurt Busch. Danica Patrick down to the inside. They're 3 and 4 wide here.
Okay, let's go get him.
Get up into 4th gear.
He's
Just
coming
kind
on
of
the
got to
outside.
hold a line here.
Left side's clear.
Make sure nobody sneaks to the inside. Well, we're going to sneak to the end. Oh, boy.
Run a caution here.
Oh, boy. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Well, that was inevitable. I got way bigger of a run on Danica than I thought I would. Joey Logano died. Rip Joey Logano, and then just the whole field as well. You know what we don't need to do, though? We don't need to pit. So, game still says we're in 3rd place. I don't think that's correct. But who knows? It's NASCAR 15. Here we go. Should be a green, white checker.
Come on, buddy. We've got to work for that money.
Big old burnout. As Michael
Driver in
McDowell is
first,
going
2
to be
seconds ahead.
a bit of a jerk. We go, and we're just going to drive him down into
Doing great, man.
down into the grass. Because why not? That's what you do.
Coming on the inside.
That's what Ryan Blaney did to
back,
Kurt
coming
Busch.
low.
Oh boy, they're wrecking again.
Car closing on the
Well, I
inside.
wrecked Jeff Gordon.
He's coming low.
Somehow they saved it.
Car approaching low. Come on, man. Hold right there if you want to draft.
Yeah, and now Danica, I don't think she's going to be too pleased with what just transpired. Me
Low
wrecking her
side's
out of
clear.
3rd place. Oh, as we just get ahead of J.J. Yaley there. Oh
Closing on
boy,
the bottom.
we wrecked McFlurry.
You the man. Nice save.
We saved it though. I'm
Coming
gonna just
low.
completely be dirty with
He's charging.
J.J. Yaley and Danica
Car
Patrick.
up top. One back.
That's
on the
somebody's
bottom,
fan
2 back.
fiction. Oh boy, we got wrecked
Looking low.
again.
The leader is 4 seconds in front.
We saved
We're
it.
gonna have
Now
2
there's a
more laps
yellow,
after this, buddy.
and I guess the next one's the first with green white checker. So J.J. Yaley, well, I got spun, and then J.J. Yaley actually brought out the yellow, and then we got collected because we were already in the wall. Okay, 4 tire stop. Fuel. Went up on the track bar, repair the damage. Trying to get the car stable for a bonsai run here on this, hopefully, final restart.
Nice pit.
Okay, we're restarting
buddy. That pit
41st
stop will
on
make
the
all the difference.
inside. It's gonna be interesting, and that's for sure. Interesting may not be the right word for it, but it's gonna be something. Here we go. Fresh tires,
Come on, you just got to be smooth
which we
and
just
calm.
John forced
4.
in,
Keep it steady.
and they're struggling
Got
to
one
get
behind
up to
you.
speed there.
First is
Jamie
leading by 3
McMurray
seconds.
didn't go on the
Tucked in
restart.
behind you.
I'm gonna keep Yaley behind us as best we can.
Go
Move
down
up to the Doji Doge here. All right. Inside lane, is it working? So many sparks. Bounce off Jimmy the Juggernaut. Hold pretty nicely there. 37th place, not too bad. We got another lap to go after this one, so we've got time to make up or screw up positions. We're just gonna drive into
Far
Indianapolis as best
inside,
we
try to get to
can.
your corner. Check your
And
inside.
lost positioning to Jimmy Johnson, not
One
a
back,
surprise. Here
coming
comes Yaley. We blocked
Inside's
him
clear.
effectively. Now move into
Car
turn
3
3.
back.
Try to get the car down
Check
right
your
on the
outside.
rumble strips.
He's coming high.
Try to help get it turned.
Gotta get to the
What are you
bottom.
doing, Casemiro? Seriously?
Final lap.
All right, we're white flag now, so if we crash, we're screwed. We kind of got to hope that
Car
the
one
guys
back.
ahead of us manage to wreck.
He's looking to
That's
draft
pretty much the
behind
only
you.
way we're going to be able to get out of 38th position. Here we go into turn
Closing on the
1.
bottom.
The final time, Logano down to the inside.
The leader is 4 seconds in front.
Or, I mean, Logano's dead,
Clear
so they
lap.
must have a replacement driver. Roger Penske's pretty good about that. Must put Elio in. I hear Elio's looking for a drive anyway. So, Elio just
Car
passed me
3
there.
back.
I'm now going to refer
Car
to Joey
approaching your
Logano
rear.
as Elio Castroneves now
Car
for the
1
rest of this
back.
Let's Play, by the way.
Clear
Just
now.
so you guys know, Joey Logano is now kayfabe dead in this universe. All right, here we go. 39th place.
Car 2
Can we
back.
make up any positions here at the
Car inside,
end
just looking.
of the race? No, we can't.
Checkered
We're just
flag.
gonna. Oh God. Oh boy, that's a bit.
Car
That's
up
a
top.
big crash right at the
Well
end.
done. Did the best we could today.
Oh. So 39th place, not the most amazing finish in the world. We wrecked Casey Kane though, and Jamie McFlurry. So the guys who tried to kill us, we killed. Also, Elio Castroneves came 38th, which is good to see. And then the top of the heap. Well, it's not an Aaron's nightmare anymore because The Aaron's Nightmare Machine, the 55, Brian Vickers, took the win over Michael Annette. That's about the most unlikely result in the history of NASCAR racing. Kevin Harvick with 3rd, Kurt Busch 4th, Tony Stewart 5th. So that was Pocono. That was crazy, as it usually is. We finished 39th, whatever, not a big deal. We'll move on to Watkins Glen and hopefully take our 3rd win of the season. So hope to see you there. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been David Land on YouTube, and we'll see you in the next video.